friends and students. In today's class, we will learn how to solder electronic components on printed circuit board. That is, we call it as a PCB, right? We will learn about that, how to solder on the printed circuit board. So it will be a step-by-step guide to learn basics of soldering techniques. I will just show you a few of the slides, then we will do the practical part so you can understand well. So I'll go to the next slide. So first of all, the tools for soldering. What are the tools you require for soldering? So please remember the important tools what you require for solderings. That is very important. That is soldering iron, the first thing. Soldering iron of proper wattage, that is, which will generate proper heat. With stand, you can see on the right hand side there is a stand, the mounted. That means the iron, after finishing your work or when it is heated, when it is heating, you can put it on the stand. Then we need a soldering lead, a roll of soldering lead, that is a good quality soldering lead with a good gauge. Then we need flux, that is somewhere, sometimes we will also need this flux. It's basically a paste, a chemical paste, right? Used for soldering purpose. Apart from that, for desoldering purpose, we use pumps and desoldering wicks. Pump is for just removing the component. Desoldering means removing the component. Please remember, soldering as well as desoldering is a very important topic of, at least when we go to service industry, where you have to remove the components, where you have to check the components. There, the desoldering components are very, very important. So desoldering is also an important process. All right. Now we'll come to the essential steps. What the essential steps we have to follow for doing the soldering. First of all, wherever you are doing the soldering, the place has to be very clean. That is, it should be, the dirt should not be there. Okay, clean the components. That the components, you have to clean it properly. You have to make it straight. You have to bend it. You have to clean it, the component properly, so that it can be soldered properly on the PCB. Prepare the soldering iron. That means plug on the soldering iron, see the heat is coming or not, and it is properly heated. Then you solder the joints. Okay, joints, we'll see how to do it. Apply heat while doing that. That is, while doing the jointing. Apply the heat, apply solder, remove heat. First, you have to heat that particular point, then apply the solder. Then after the melt, that whole thing gets intact, then you remove the soldering iron. After that, the next process is cutting. That is cutting of the leads, the extra leads which are there, you have to cut it off. Right? Then inspect the joint, whether it has been soldered properly or not. And then finally, you have to clean it with the solution, given solution, right? Okay. Now you can see here some good soldering and bad soldering I have given you in this, how it has to be done. Good soldering, you can see on the top here, it has to be right around this, but that will come only with the practice. Bad soldering means if you join the complete thing, you short circuit the complete tracks and all, that is bad soldering. So these things, things you have to keep it in mind, but of course that will come with the practice. Okay. Now I will tell you about the solders. Usually we use 60-40 solder. That is, tin is 60% and lead is 40%. That is for hand soldering up to 50-100 watts. We will use this type of soldering lead, right? Then if you go to automatic soldering, where the automation is taking place, like automatically in the factories and all, the combination will be 63 and 37. That means tin is 63 and lead is 37. So likewise, it can be categorized in different ways. In some cases, we use silver also. Okay, right. Okay. Now we'll go to the next slide. There is also, when you go to the companies and for manufacturing, they have dip solderings also. Dip soldering means what? They will put the components together and they will melt the lead in a bowl or in a tray, and the PCB is dipped into it so that all the components together, it can be soldered. Okay, right. We'll go to the next slide. Wave soldering machine. Nowadays, the latest is wave soldering machine. You just put it and automatically the board gets soldered, all the points get soldered, joint inside. That is, it's automated machine like. So nowadays in the factories, they use wave soldering machines nowadays. Okay, right. Then you have very important part, that is SMD rework station. This is hot air technique. Hot air means what? It will be, you can adjust the air flow as well as the heating in that. So that can be, this is important for the SMD component, surface mounted device, for fixing as well as for removing. This is also called as SMD rework station. That means both the work can be done, that is fixing as well as removing. both the work can be done. So that is a rework station. This is also very good technique. Nowadays, maximum of the PCBs you will get, like mobile phone repairs and everything. Now the components are very, very small. So they use SMD rework station for that. All right. Now I'll go to the next one. Automatic assembly component pick and place machines. Nowadays, when you go to the factory, suppose you got a job in some companies and all. So maximum, if it is a big scale, big companies and all, they will have this type of setup. That is automatic assembly component pick and place. Automatically, the components will be picked, it will be soldered. Everything is done automatic. So you have to keep it in mind. You can study about these also. Okay, right. We'll go to the next slide. Now, this is safety tips. About safety tip, it is very, very important about safety tip. Always handle the soldering iron carefully. Why? Because it is very, very hot, extremely hot, because it will damage your skin and your body parts. So you have to be very careful. Use a fume extractor or work in a ventilated area. That means exhaust fan or ventilated area should be there. Minimum inhaling solder fumes, right? To try not to bend much more on the fumes, right? So you have to be very, very careful because it's harmful. More of a fumes are very harmful. Never touch the heated part of the iron or joint until fully cooled. That means immediately after soldering, please don't touch the part because it will be hot only because it's a lead. Always wear safety goggles to protect your eyes. So the safety precautions are important for our subject. Okay. So first of all, now we have come to our labs. I'll just show you the equipments and all what you require. The first equipment, what is important is this one. That is, we call it as a soldering iron. You can see here, this is Soldron 25 watts soldering iron usually. Okay. Right. We maximum use this type of, for conventional soldering, we use. This can be this bit, that is iron bit, can be of different size and shape. Here I have used the different, why I'm touching it? Why? Because it's hot, right? So it can be of different size and shape. It can be pointed or some little flat type of. This is iron one. This is your soldering lead. Okay, soldering lead. It's a lead wire. Okay, right. This is your paste, soldering paste. If it is required, whenever it is required for fresh soldering, you can use it. Okay, some tools I'm just showing. So these are tweezers, right, for holding the components. Okay, so you can hold the components like this. So these are the tweezers. Right. These are the cutter, right? Lead cutter, we call it as. After doing the soldering and all, extra leads will be there, so we can cut down the leads. Okay. Finally, brush and a solution, right? A solution. You can see this is IP solution is there. It's written. I don't know whether you can see or not, but this is IP solution. So likewise, we have to do it. The raw material. First of all, whatever the components you want, you register or whatever it is there, capacitor or anything else, you have to keep it there. You have to make it ready, like it should be there on your table. Then you need a PCB. Okay, this is the PCB. You can see this. This is the PCB. Okay, so this side, this is single-sided PCB. One side we put the components. The holes are given, right? PTA. That is, one side we'll put the components, and this side we will solder it. The area where the silver shining is there, no, or silver shining is there, this area we will do the soldering work. Please remember, okay? Right. Usually what happens, you don't see that, and you just put the component from this side, you try to solder this side because there is no shining area or there is no track or there is no copper. So this side, the soldering will not be happening. So keep it in mind. You have to, this side component, you have to fix the component, whatever the component is, and this side, the soldering has to be done. Okay, right. So I have used a different type of PCB. This is SMD type of PCB. This is a double-sided PCB, right? PCBs are of different size, different types. So double-sided PCB, this is mobile PCB. I have already shown you in other videos. This is also double-sided, okay? So all SMD components on this. For SMD components, we don't use this iron, okay? We don't use this iron for SMD components. We use, as I've shown you in this thing, we use another iron for that, okay? Right. So first we'll see the conventional one, how to solder, okay? So the area should be clean. Right, this is a desoldering wig. Okay, wig. That also I will show you how to do it. Okay, this is the things. So first of all, what you have to do is whatever you have to do, the component we have to make it ready. Like what? Suppose this is the component. Okay, this is a resistor. I want to fix it on the PCB. So what I will do is I will just make it straight. Okay, take a tweezer and just prepare it. That is called as preparation of the components. I'm just twisting it properly, nicely. I'm twisting it. You can see a 90 degrees here. Right, this is exactly twisted to 90 degrees. Same thing, we can do it from this side also. Exactly same area, and you will just turn it. This is called preparation of the component. Please remember, the company wants that you should do all professional work. The work should be professional. So this is very important. The preparation of the component is very, very important. Suppose if you want to solder a wire in this, suppose you want to solder a wire. So what do you do? Prepare a jumper first, like component and all. You can prepare it. You just insert from here to here exactly, and you will find the gap. Suppose this gap is there. This is not a good idea. So you cut it properly so that the gap should not be there. Now it is looking good, right? You can see now it is looking good. From other side, you just twist it little. This side you twist it. Now I will tell you how to solder it. Okay. So these are the 2 points how to solder it. Take the lead on your left hand side, or if you are righty, then you can take it on right hand side. Take your iron. Okay. The iron is heated up. Exactly. First, what you have to do according to that, first you have to put the iron here. One end, you have to put the iron. Okay. I have put the iron here. I have just put iron here, and the component is getting heated up. Okay. Then I have applied little solder on it. So you can see the solder and the area where it is to be connected, it will get hold on it. But sometimes if it is not clean, then it will be giving you a little problem. And this side also will try. This side also will try. Okay, you can see here how I'm doing it. Left side iron, this side iron, and right side iron, and left side. Correct. Done. So I will show you how it is to be done. So you can see from this thing how it has been done. This soldering and this soldering. This soldering is better. Okay. Now likewise you have to do the soldering. Rest of the wire, if it is left over, suppose this side some wire is left over, you can take this cutter and simply you can just cut it out like this, right? So that when you touch it, it should not, you should not feel it. It should be smooth like. So likewise you have to do it. Okay, right? So this is nothing but a practice. Please remember this. These are the practice. One more component will solder it. Now I will just try to show it. These are the PCB. These are general purpose PCB. That means there is no specific anything specific, like randomly it has been given. But these PCBs are been designed, right? Because it has a track. So this has been made for some circuit. Okay, right. So I will just try to connect one resistor what we have prepared. Okay. If it is a new, you can just dip it in the little this thing in the paste and you can connect it. If it is not new, then it's not necessary. So I'm just putting the component on this. You can see here, I'm just putting the component over here. You can just press it down. If the component is getting heated up, let it be keep little gap in between. Okay, and just tilt it on other side and just tilt on this thing. You right hand side iron and this side, right? The iron should be good. It should be clean. You have to be very careful about that, right? This side also will try. It has been soldered. Now what will next step? Cutting. So cutting is to go deep inside and then cut it. Okay? No, I cut it. Here also same. Right? So likewise we have. Now the final part is after soldering all the components and all, you have to do what you have to do. You have to take a brush. Any brush will do. Right? Put a little liquid on it. Right. Now I'm pouring some liquid on this. Okay, directly you can pour it on the PCB also. So I'm just pouring this on this, and I will just clean it. Okay, wherever we have done it, that you clean the area. Why? Because little markings will be there. Little markings will be there on the top of it. So you have to clean it. So I just give you a little idea how to solder now. How we have soldered the things around. I'll do a few more soldering points once again so that you will also get confidence. So I have connected one capacitor here, one resistor here. You can see. We'll try to solder this also. So just see it. Actually, we should have a PCB holder also so that both our hands are free. Some support should be there. So you can buy a PCB holder also. If you are a professional soldering person, then you can do that also. So since I'm just showing it to you, so I will just tell you. Suppose this component is there, it is on the PCB holder. So how I'm doing it, you just please watch it once again. How I'm doing it, you please watch it once again. So I'm just soldering it here. I'm just taking first I'm putting the iron, heating it, then I'm putting the lead. Okay, done. Second point. Done. Right. See, when there is a shining in this thing on the solder, it will hold properly. If the PCB is old, again you may have a problem. So you have to be very careful about that. Before that, with this, you have to clean it properly because the oxidation takes place. It is a copper. This points are copper. So if the copper gets oxidated, that is, then it will not hold the solder. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful about that. This soldering has come very nice. So likewise, when you do it, then only you will get the complete idea. I will just try to show it to you from near this thing. You can see here, this solder has come up very, very nice. Okay. So all of you try to do this type of soldering. These type of soldering should be there. Cutting is also very important. After doing this, the cutting part is also very, very important. How you have to cut it, hold the nose plier like this, and you have to gently go deep inside and just cut it down. Okay. And you should not feel it. Okay. So that is the important part. Okay. So this comes only with the practice. Okay. Now we will see how to desolder. Suppose there is a IC, and if you want to remove that IC, suppose let's assume that this point is to be removed, and there are a number of points over here. So what I will do is I will take the iron, and what I will do is I will put the desoldering lead over here. You can apply a little paste over on the desoldering this thing, and you can just put it on the right. You can see it will suck. This will suck the lead which is there. Okay, it will just suck the lead from there so that the components easily it can come out. Okay, so that is the idea. So likewise, like if I pull the component, see, you can see another side I have easily removed. So this is the technique what you use nowadays. This is called desoldering wick. Desoldering wick. Okay. Nowadays we don't use pumps, the air pumps and all. We don't use those. We use desoldering wicks. So again, after doing this, what you will do, you will put little solution to it and you will clean it. Again, cleaning is very important. Please remember, cleaning with the proper this thing. Nothing, no, not with the water. It has to be some alcoholic type of this thing. So I have used an IPA, that is isopropyl alcohol. Okay. So this is the technique, what you have to do it, what you have to understand. Please remember one more thing I would like to tell you. Suppose this is a copper enameled wire. Copper enameled wire. If suppose you want to solder this copper enameled wire over here, so directly it will not there. So take a blade, just rub it a little. The enamel has to be removed. Then it can be soldered. I will just show you how to solder it. Suppose I have already removed the copper wire, copper enamel from this. Just heat it, heat a little. Right? Now you can see I have joined this wire. Okay. I can remove the single wire. I can directly remove. I don't require desoldering wick. I can just remove it by heating it. I can remove it. So this is soldering and desoldering process. Okay. Please remember all these things, what I'm telling you, it only comes with the practice. You have to practice. You have to buy some PCBs. You have to buy soldering iron and lead. This is the lead. You have to buy paste and you have to try. Old PCBs, you can get it anywhere and you can remove and you can try it. All the engineers in electronic who belong to electronic fraternity everybody should know soldering. It is very, very important.